Man's got to know his limitations.
When I saw Dirty Harry, I was a struggling actor. I have just done one movie that never came out, which was called Hercules in New York. And so, of course, my big dream was, and it was always my goal when I was in Austria, was to come to America after winning the world championships in bodybuilding and becoming Mr. Universe 10 times over, and then finally retire from bodybuilding and then get into acting. So at that point, I did one movie, like I said, Hercules in New York, but I mean, I really wanted to get into, becoming a star like Clint Eastwood and doing action movies like he was doing. And all of a sudden, I saw this movie, Dirty Harry. And I went to see it not only once, but I saw it 5 times in a row, because it had such a tremendous impact on me. And it was like, not only on me, but also on a lot of other people, obviously, because it became like the action movie, a new standard of action movies. I think that we've heard all this Make My Day and, the Do You Feel Lucky, Punk, and all of those kind of things we have seen now over, not only in America, but worldwide. So I think that Clint Eastwood there created something that was unlike anything else. Ready?
All right, folks, you did real good with that cop. Now I want everything. Money, watches, rings, everything. Oh. Quick, move!
What you doing, you pighead sucker?
Every day for the last 10 years, Loretta there has been giving me a large black coffee. Today she gives me a large black coffee, only it's got sugar in it. A lot of sugar. I just came back to complain. How you boys put those guns down?
Say what?
Whoa, we're not just gonna let you walk out of here.
Who's we, sucker?
Smith and Wesson and me.
In the world of Harry Callahan, the courts and the system weren't part of the solution, they were part of the problem. Corrupt, impotent, more concerned, it seemed, with protecting the criminal than the innocent. The rage, the righteous indignation of Harry Callahan was our rage. If the politicians and bureaucrats were more interested in the law, Harry Callahan was interested in justice.
Callahan.
Sir?
I don't want any more trouble like you had last year in the Fillmore district. Understand? That's my policy.
Yeah, well, when an adult male is chasing a female with intent to commit rape, I shoot the bastard. That's my policy.
Intent? How did you establish that?
Well, a naked man is chasing a woman through an alley with a butcher knife and a heart on. I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross.
I think he's got a point.
On Dirty Harry, the first one, and he got hit very hard for Dirty Harry being a vigilante. And the second one, he tried to soften that image a lot by this time going after the people who were doing very dangerous things.
You heroes have killed 12 people this week. What are you gonna do next week?
Kill 12 more.
Is that what you guys are all about? Being heroes?
All our heroes are dead. It's not just a question of whether or not to use violence. There simply is no other way, Inspector. You, of all people, should understand that. Either you're for us or you're against us. I'm afraid you've misjudged me.
Yours truly was lucky enough to be in the second Dirty Harry movie, Magnum Force. I played one of San Francisco's not-so-finest, along with Tim Matheson, David Soul, Kip Niven. And in this scene, we challenged Clint to join us vigilantes, who are going to rid San Francisco of all the bad guys. So we pull out of the shot, and what you don't see is as we go around the corner, we all crashed our motorcycles. There was just a big heap of cops and motorcycles. Clint stayed in character till we exited, and then when they cut the camera, he said, "I'd just been threatened by the Keystone Cops." But he stayed in composure, a pro's pro.
Well, Clint would give very specific instructions. And he would say, "You've got too many words here. I don't say words real good. I stare real well." And, I mean, Clint's great. Clint, there's no nonsense. There's no pretension.
You just killed 3 police officers, Harry. And the only reason I'm not gonna kill you is because I'm gonna prosecute you with your own system. It'll be my word against yours. And who's gonna believe you? You're a killer, Harry. A maniac.
Well, I think that Clint showed us clearly that when you want to do an action movie and really portray a guy in an interesting way, you should make him multi-dimensional. You shouldn't make just the guy be a straight cop. That doesn't work. I mean, we have seen that too many times on TV shows and all that. But what works is to play around with the character in such a way like he does, very soft-spoken. He never screamed like you normally see when people play cops. You know, it's doing all the screaming and the fuss, acting totally out of control a lot of times. He didn't do that. He was, like I said, very calm. He was eating his sandwich or his hamburger. He was pulling out the gun, and he was doing his job. That's what he was doing. And then every time he talked to anyone, anytime he negotiated, anytime he dealt with anyone, everything was in a very calm way. And I think because he acted so calm and he said lines that were quite humorous, it became really hysterical for people. You could laugh in his movies, you could sit there and be entertained like in a comedy sometimes, and at the same time 2 seconds later be totally scared and frightened because he got very intense. So he gave you kind of a multi-dimensional character, which I think worked really well and became the new standard for action movies and for those kind of films.
He didn't talk much to begin with, which made me real nervous. And I found out that the first day I ended up on the set, there was going to be a long walkthrough through Chinatown. It was just going to be one long master with a camera in front of us, following us through the streets of Chinatown with a lot of atmosphere going on. Very complex. You know, we would go by like a shop with a duck hanging in it, then go by another noodle shop, and there was a lot of atmosphere, a lot of extras going back and forth as we weaved our way through. Clint asked me if I'd like to go ahead and do it, and I said sure, and I was very much under the impression that it was a camera rehearsal. We get done, and I hear Clint look over at Buddy and go, "Okay, cut." You know, and I'm looking there and I'm going, "Mr. Eastwood," and he goes, "No, Clint." I go, "Clint," and I go, "You yelled cut." He goes, "That's right." I said, "You mean we were shooting this?" And he goes, "Yeah, lots of times we just shoot the camera rehearsals." And I go, "Oh," and he goes, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Well, I didn't feel too good about it. I mean, I thought this was a rehearsal." He goes, "You didn't feel good about it." And I said, "Yeah, that's right." He goes, "You didn't feel like you were prepared?" And I go, "I didn't feel like I was prepared." He goes, "You didn't really feel like you were really there and doing a good job?" I said, "No." He goes, "So you feel like you want another one?" And I go, "Well, yeah, if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate having another one." And he goes, "Okay." You know, he tells Buddy, "The kid wants another one, let's set it up." And he goes out of his way to say, "This time, make sure," okay, he knows the camera's rolling. So they go rolling, sound, the whole thing, okay, and action, and we do it. and I'm feeling much better. I'm really grateful to God that I'm not going to blow this thing, that I get a chance to really do what I want to do. We get done, and I feel pretty comfortable with it, and he looks at me.